You say it because you care. You offer help because you love them. You check in because you want to stay close. But lately, something's changed. They respond with short texts. They cancel calls. They seem distant, cold, and you can't figure out why. If you've ever thought, I just want what's best for them, why do they keep pulling away? This video is for you, because sometimes the most loving parents accidentally come off as controlling, not because they're overbearing, but because their adult children hear messages they never meant to send. In this video, we'll unpack 5 things loving parents do that quietly push their kids away, and how to shift them gently without guilt or blame. This is not about shame, it's about understanding, and it could change the way your kids feel around you forever. Let's begin. Number 1. Giving advice that wasn't asked for. You see your child stressed, struggling, or making a choice you wouldn't make. So you jump in, with wisdom, experience, and the best intentions. But to them, your advice may not feel like support. It may feel like a reminder that you don't believe they can figure it out themselves. You should really. If I were you, you know what I think you should do. Even when it's coming from love, unsolicited advice often comes across as correction, not connection. It's a hard truth for many loving parents. Advice without invitation can sound like criticism, and over time it can cause your child to shut down, feel defensive, or even avoid conversation, especially if they fear every chat will turn into a lecture. Have you ever left a conversation thinking, I was just trying to help, while they left thinking, they don't trust me to make my own decisions? What if, instead of advice, you offered curiosity first? A simple, want to talk it through, can open more doors than any advice ever could. Number 2. Always checking in. Every day. It starts innocently. A call to say hi. A quick message, just wondering how they're doing. But when it becomes daily, even multiple times a day, it can feel less like connection and more like monitoring. To you, it might be love. To them, it can feel like surveillance, like you don't believe they're okay unless you've personally confirmed it, especially for adult children who are building careers, parenting, or managing busy households. Constant check-ins, even with warm intentions, can become emotional clutter. They may begin to feel guilty for not responding quickly, or anxious, wondering, what's wrong now? Or simply overwhelmed by the weight of always being on call for a parent who needs contact to feel secure. It's not about pushing you away. It's about protecting their time, mental space, and autonomy. And ironically, the more pressure they feel to stay in touch, the more they may start avoiding those very messages and calls. Have you ever thought, I reach out every day and they barely respond, without realizing that the frequency might be part of the issue? What if connection came with more freedom, not more pressure? A surprise note, a voice message, a once-a-week catch-up that leaves them smiling, not sighing. Trust is built in space, not just in presence. Number 3. Helping with things they didn't ask for. You see them juggling a dozen things: work, kids, a messy home, a pile of bills. So, like any loving parent, you step in to help. You drop off groceries, you clean their kitchen, you pay a bill they mentioned in passing, but instead of gratitude, you get distance. Why? Because help that wasn't asked for can quietly feel like a judgment, as if you're saying, you clearly can't handle this on your own, so I'll do it for you. To you, it feels generous. To them, it might feel like control, or even shame. Worse, if your help comes with strings, comments like, I did this for you, and you can't even call me back, it no longer feels like love. It feels like a transaction. Adult children want to feel capable, to struggle, grow, fall, and rise, without being rescued. Yes, even if their way is messier, slower, or not how you do it, sometimes the most powerful form of support is patience. It's waiting until they ask, because when they invite you in, that's when help becomes healing. Have you ever helped out of love, but later realized they never asked for it? Can you imagine how empowering it might feel to let them ask and you say yes instead of always offering first? Number 4. Guilt-laced comments when they're busy. You haven't heard from them in a while. They finally call, and before you can stop yourself, it slips out. Well, I guess you finally remembered I exist. Must be nice to be so busy for your own mother. I won't bother you again. I know how full your life is. It sounds light, maybe even joking, but to them it feels like a knife wrapped in a smile. These kinds of guilt-laced comments don't open the door to connection, they close it, because suddenly, instead of just catching up, they're defending themselves. It makes every future phone call feel like a setup, a moment they have to brace for, not look forward to. And here's the irony. You're making these comments because you miss them, because you love them. But it's easy to forget. Love isn't felt through guilt. It's felt through warmth, curiosity, grace, and space. If they're busy, trust this. They're not forgetting you. They're surviving. And the safest place they can return to is a voice that says, "I'm always glad to hear from you, no matter when." Have you ever said something in frustration that made them pull away instead of come closer? What might change if you replaced guilt with welcome? Number 5. Making their life choices about you. They tell you they're not getting married, or that they're moving across the country, or that they don't want children. And something inside you flinches. Not because you're angry, but because it feels personal. After everything I did for you, why would you choose that life? Did I not raise you right? Without realizing it, your reaction becomes a mirror they're forced to look into, when all they wanted was support. Here's the truth. Their life choices aren't a verdict on yours. They're not a rejection of your love. They're not rebellion. They're evolution. But when you make it about you, you turn their joy into a burden, their milestones into landmines, and their freedom into your sorrow. The most loving parents often struggle most with this, because you've invested so much of your heart, so much time, energy, sacrifice. But love isn't ownership. Love is letting go, while still being near. Have you ever responded to a choice they made, as if it reflected on you? What might shift if you viewed their path as different, not wrong? What if the best way to be part of their future is to stop trying to rewrite their map? If any of these hit home, please know, this isn't about blame, it's about awareness. Because the truth is, you can deeply love your child and still accidentally make them feel controlled. But the moment you see it, you can shift it. Every conversation becomes a chance to show trust. Every silence becomes a space for respect. And every interaction is an opportunity to say, "I see you, I believe in you, I'm here, without strings." And that's the kind of love they come back to. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below. What's one thing you're choosing to do differently, starting today? And if you found this video helpful, please hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who might need a gentle reminder. Because love evolves, and so can we.